We who wrestle with love. Well, what is love? I came up with a definition, and this definition is based on observable reality, which means I tried my best not to make it emotional at all, but make it something that we can all observe, mentally analyze, and agree upon as a solid definition. Now, it won't necessarily capture the magic or essence of love, but it certainly will make it practical to love and practical to understand where love is being applied and where love is absent in practice. Love is the intentional allocation of time and resources towards a specific person, activity, or thing in order to enhance the quality of life of that person, the execution of that activity, or the overall quality of that thing. And so, in short, love is the intentional allocation of resources. That's what love is, simply. And so, you can love the person and not necessarily love the things that they love. Obviously, the more intimate the relationship, the more that love should align. How do we know if that love is aligning or not? Well, are you willing to sacrifice time and resources? Are you willing to give? Not even sacrifice, because it shouldn't feel like a sacrifice because you love the thing. The same way that someone could be passionate about a football club, be willing to spend countless hours watching it, spend their resources acquiring merchandise, representing. Does that feel like I say, oh man, I've sacrificed? No, I love that team. I love what they stand for. I, that's not sacrifice. And so if those two things are aligned, if you happen to have a passion for the same things, then I think it becomes a lot easier to love, because now you are in a position where, wow, this person's giving so much to this thing that I care about. It's like they must care about me, but at the same time they also must care about the things that I care about, but those things happen to be in line. And so I think that's why it's very important to be uh, having the same vision, the closer in proximity you are to other human beings. And so that may be again an intimate partner, that may be a family member, that may be a friend, that may be whatever. But love, the intentional allocation of time and resources, will be much easier the closer you are in terms of vision and executing on that vision. So, in order to understand this, first of all, we need to understand that it's not a binary. It's not a do I not love, but typically it will be a how much do I love. It exists on a spectrum, on a continuum, not a problem to be solved, a dichotomy to be managed. And so, for example, understanding on one extreme that an Elon Musk may exist, and we can understand through this definition the difficulties that they may face when it comes to maintaining a relationship. Because if you look at the time and resources of an Elon Musk, there are many, many people pulling multiple different ways to get some of that time, to get the attention mostly. The resources may be plentiful at that stage of the game, but time is very much of the essence. Hence, you can see the relational issues, and that's not just him. That's not a slight on him, but very often you'll find that people who find themselves in these powerful positions will have trouble when it comes to maintaining a good relationship, family life, etc. And then there are ones that don't. And so, what is the difference? You can't say the difference is in terms of, say, a work ethic. You can't say the difference is in terms of a hunger for it, a this, a that. There are certain things that you just have to rule out. Ambition, you have to rule out. Like, there are certain things that are given in order to get in that 1%. to begin with, or say top 10%, top 5%. And then perhaps to get to that top one, there will typically be a disproportional allocation of the time and resources towards the thing more than towards the person, more so towards the activity than. And if that person doesn't necessarily have the same passion for your passions, and so it's not necessarily that they lack passion for you, but a passion for your passions. And so if you're Elon Musk, do you necessarily have the F to give about whatever wife number X is interested in? And if not, if you're not allocating the time and resources towards the things that they care about, then are they going to feel loved? Well, the answer is no. And it will be very difficult to receive love in a position like that, because like, well, there's so much value in my time. What better thing do you have to do with your time other than support me? And so even the support may not feel genuine. Even the love may not feel genuine. Even if the resources and time are being allocated, it's like, well, what is the intention? So I think it's very important to understand this, and I do believe that it would be a good tool to help operationalize who you're growing with and what the intention is behind the simultaneous growth. Because on the other extreme, you have someone who you can say, maybe the partner of an Elon. You can't really, if you want to successfully be in that, you'd want your time and resources to be towards whatever your significant other. Now, this isn't necessarily even a gender thing. I'm just talking about, if you're the husband of some sort of high powered CEO female, then you'd want the allocation of your time and resources to be towards whatever that person is hyper focused on, because they're hyper focused on that, and that's why they're in the position that they're in. But then if you're going to be now in a position where you're feeling like you're not being loved because this person's putting so much focus and intention there, then that's where I believe the problems start. And so alignment of vision, I believe, is very it's a very important component in the expression of that love. The alignment of vision. Yeah, yeah. Love is the intentional allocation of time and resources. So to be young and looking for that within someone else, looking for an intentional allocation of time and resources, is indeed difficult, especially considering that the older you are, the more time you have, because you have more leverage. You can use the resources to garner more resources with minimal time. And the younger you are, the more time you have to put in because of your lack of resources in terms of honing a craft now. And so the only exception, the more ambitious you are, the more you want to give, would be if the person you were with were also pouring into or aligned vision. Just food for thought, some food off of my plate and what I'm thinking about at the moment for some or other reason. Just really thought that it would be useful, practical for a lot of people to break that down and make it a definition. And so I hope you did find value out of it. If you did, in fact, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I have been Sage, standing on business. Signing off.